It's the JT Cho Show!
Baby. We finally got to win an NHL.
Oh! Welcome back to the JT Show. I'm your host, JT. This is episode 109er. That's almost two hands. That's the highest I can count. It's to 10 usually. It's my co-host Cut. How you doing, Cut?
I'm doing fantastic.
Cut's been in Michigan for a minute now.
A little over a month.
Yep, we've just been golfing, doing a lot of golf.
Golfing a shit ton, actually.
Golfing so much, actually. We never did a podcast after my Shiner, right?
This is the first one since the Shiner.
Yeah, so you see,
it's kind of dissipating now. But.
Yeah, so this is all that really remains. So what happened is, shout out to Travi and Karma. Travi fell and hurt his arm, and I was like, I don't remember the last time I fell off my snowboard, longboard, and I was cleaning out my garage, and I took a few rides down in the morning and cut open the door, and so I was like, "You're gonna break your arm, run that skateboard like that," and I was like, haha, it's funny. And so I cleaned my garage out, did hard work, got all the chores. That was my last chore of the day, And then I fucking was like, I want to go down the driveway a couple more times with my longboard. And I just hit a rock. Wasn't going very fast. Before I knew it, I had my hands out. And then like you're dying, but I wasn't dying. But I had that flash of Travi hurting his arm really bad, the soft break. And so I tucked my arms in and I landed on my shoulder, and that's when my fucking head cocked right off the ground. And
he said,
there's an audible, and the windows were open, but couldn't see what was going on because he wasn't watching, but he heard the audible,
Yeah, so I looked out the front door, and there's a car stopped in front of his house. He's on a busy street. So the car just stopped, and I look out, I was like, what the fuck just happened? And I see him pop up out of nowhere. He just goes, he just pops up like nothing was going on.
Like, are you okay? I'm like, my face is already at the time, it was already like half swole.
Yeah. My favorite part about the whole thing is you kicked the skateboard across the street. Like you had to cross in front of the traffic.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah. And then it was this bag of frozen mixed vegetables on the face, and had
it's coming out pretty good though.
Yeah, you got to take all that extra iron, and I'm just glad I didn't Bob Saget myself.
Yeah, that would not be okay.
I would have to hit my head harder and be a funnier comedian.
And be about 20 years older.
30.
Oh man.
But yeah, we've been golfing. We hit a spot in Lansing on the golf pass yesterday called Grossbeck.
Nice course.
Tough course.
Yeah.
A lot of hills.
Very hilly. Very hilly.
A lot of dog legs.
There were like unreachable dog legs though. Most of them were.
Yeah.
Like it was like I started the dog leg at like 250. And it's like, well, if I could hit it 400, I might fucking be able to dog leg it out there. But unless you're taking an aggressive line over the trees, it's not really much taking advantage of that there.
Right. And
I was hitting some decent putts too, some long ones.
You were hitting some putts. I
had a couple of 10 plus footers, and I was pretty stoked on it.
Yeah, we decided to play some best ball in the back. I low-key wish we could have had time for 18 on Friday instead of 18 on Saturday, because we could have just hit another 9 on Friday.
Yeah.
And Saturday we'll probably just been another kick it day because of the humidity that we've been experiencing.
Yeah, definitely. That was a super hot day. Literally after the first swing on hole 1, I look over at this guy. He's wearing a gray shirt, and he's just got the sweat starting to go. And I was like, oh man, good thing I'm wearing white because you can't tell I'm already sweaty.
That's what I wanted to wear today. My dog's living, and it's very depressing. But that's what I wanted to wear, and he was already wearing his white. So I was like, I don't want to dress the same. But there was this individual on the golf course who was wearing khaki pants. His name wasn't Jake from State Farm. Oh my
god, bro!
But you should have seen his ass sweat.
The swamp ass was immaculate. I don't think I've ever seen swamp ass like that.
It was like stage level 5.
He was like, so he was like diagonally across the course from us, like 4 or 5 holes ahead, and we ended up.
It was 2 holes ahead.
Was it 2 holes? Okay,
so,
well, we ended up seeing him the first time on the first couple holes, and I just looked at him. I was like, "Yo, look at that fucking swamp ass!" And then we saw him again later on in the day, like 5-6 holes later, and it had multiplied.
He knew.
His whole backside was just like, so it was like dark khaki pants, but the backside was like dark khaki,
like ass sweat.
Like he had sat down in a pool by accident and got up real quick to save the front side of his pants. Like it was bad. It was all the way down, and he had the back of the knee sweats going.
That's gonna be hard, like
it's gotta be tough being like that. Could you imagine? Because like I get some ass sweat, but not like that. I don't sweat through my fucking khakis.
Especially, I don't think I've sweat in my ass and have swamp ass, but it's never on a level where everybody knows what's going on.
The only time I've ever had one seep through, I think, was in tech school out in the field.
Yeah, but that was like that's like
you sit down in the dirt and you have to like wipe your ass and you get up, so you got like clay stuck to your fucking
that's not your fault. That's
it's just shit military training.
It was crazy though. And then Cut's been hanging around and watching me do comedy.
Yeah, I've got to see him perform twice. Both times he did well. First time was better than the second time for sure. The first time he was the funniest comedian in the room. This last time he was probably like the third funniest out of like 11 people?
I think 9.
I think it was more than 9 because they ended up adding people, right? Because you got pushed.
No, that was because someone was showing up late. Gotcha. So they're like, so since he's showing up later, we're gonna put this guy in front of you. And in my head, I was like, why not just put him after me? But I was like, it's not my show. But what's funny though is the show, it's called the Laughing Stool. Oh no, the Stolen Stool. It's in Grand Rapids. What's really funny is this is my second time there, and the first time the room was almost exactly the same, where they had a great turnout. And so I go in there and he's like, yeah, first time here. I'm like, no, I've been here before. And he's like, no, you haven't, dog. I've never seen you before. And I was like, no, I did it up there. There was just a different host. He's like, nah, he's like, there couldn't have been. This is what I like made up here. And I was like, no, like he was subbing in for somebody. And I described the joke he told, and everyone was like, oh, that guy. And he's like, yeah, I had COVID that week. And I was like, yeah, because I was about to whip up a video and be like, so like, is this like in a multiverse, of stand-up comedy? But it's a pretty cool spot. It's in a brewery. They have really good beer there.
The beer was good. It was
seltzers
strong. Yes. Definitely a hipster vibe.
The seltzers.
What was the place called?
The Stolen Stool Lounge, maybe.
No, I think it was something with an H.
I'll look it up.
It was like Harry's Tavern or Harry's Last something.
Harmony Hall.
Harmony Hall. That's what
Harmony
it was.
Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harmony Hall. So it's like it's a brewery on the first floor, and the second floor is where like the bar's at, and they got a bunch of those cool bar games. Like they have like the one, it's like the wood platform, and you spin a top and see how far the fucking top gets on the platform. That shuffleboard, a bunch of cool shit. Drinks were very very hoppy, very they're strong. All of them were above 6%.
Yeah, the seltzers were 7.4.
Yeah, they had one
tangerine,
of the beers,
pineapple, and
one of the beers was like 11.8 or something like that.
Yeah, they're those are the earthy.
Yeah, those are the ones you can marinate a chicken in.
Yeah,
those are some thick boys.
But some of their Pilsner is pretty good.
Yeah, the Michigan Pure or whatever. Yeah, that was the first one I had.
And then first time I had their seltzers, they have strawberry, tangerine, and pineapple, and I went with tangerine and pineapple start because hey, I haven't gotten paid officially in comedy yet, but you do. This is like my
get a drink.
This is this is like my 10th drink, 11th drink.
So you've made at least $100.
Yeah. And so I bought a tangerine and a pineapple. And since I got pushed one more, I slammed my second drink, and they're both 7.4s.
Yeah.
And I ordered another tangerine because I thought the tangerine had a better taste than the pineapple. And that's all I needed for like 3 hours. I had three drinks in 3 hours. And like under the Air Force established guidelines to how they prevent alcoholism, that's great drinking, like no more than 2 drinks over 9 days. And you're like,
Yeah, it was what was you're considered an alcoholic in the military if you have more than 6 drinks in one setting. That's one night. That's like you're at a party if you have more than 6 drinks. If you have 6, they're like, oh, hold on there, cowboy.
Like the party went 6 hours and you had 1 drink per hour.
Yeah, that's fine. You're allowed to do that. That's okay.
No, it's not.
No, you can't drive after, but you're up to 6 drinks. Like that's the
but I'm saying like you have you're there from 8 o'clock till 2 a.m.
Yeah, that 7th beer means you're an alcoholic and you need help.
No, dude, that means that I've been drinking slow all
Yeah,
night.
exactly.
Because if I'm up at
I would
2,
drink a 6-pack before I got to the party. You kidding me? Like that was like a normal thing. Like you just chug a couple beers before, get a ride to the party, and show up and drink someone else's beer.
what's crazy in the military is pre-gaming to a pre-game.
Yeah.
And then when you show up to the pre-game, you're already fucked up. And then they go, ah, shit, you guys are drunk already. We gotta go. And we're like, like,
Darn.
yeah. And then we're already lit.
Yeah.
And then they go to Kelly's early.
Yep.
Or like that was my favorite, is just showing up to a pre-game lit. Oh, come pre-game at my house, and then you're 3 beers deep by the time you show up to their house.
Yep.
Also,
the pre-game parties are fun though.
Also, one time I went to visit Earl for Central Western weekend, and so I decided to have a bunch of drinks before the car ride, and then we stopped, and then I bought like some peppermint schnapps.
Ugh.
And just banned it. And then by the time we get to Western, like my buddy Jeff, he just dropped me off and said, I'll see you Sunday, dude. We'll text Saturday night. Actually, I stayed with him Saturday night, to make it easier. But I was like, I'll just find you. So I found Earl, I found a bush, threw up, started drinking.
There you go.
So by the time I showed up to Friday night to Central Western weekend, I had already gone through like a fucking night.
A litany of tests.
Yes. And I will say that was one of the funnest weekends of my life, because Earl and I just got into so many shenanigans. And my favorite part about friendship over rivalries is you both respect each other as individuals, but he would be like, sarcastically, we're like, oh, fuck Central, fuck Western. But then some motherfucker would be like, you wearing a Central shirt, fuck you. And Earl's like, fuck you. And he's like, but you're wearing a Western shirt. And he's like, and he doesn't fucking know you, neither do I. So shut the fuck up. And you're like, hey, man, I love that. That's my favorite shit,
Yeah. I would have liked to have experienced some college parties at some point in my life, but I think I'd done enough of that.
You'd go to a party now, and okay, so you'd go to a party at this point, and
now is not an option.
No, I mean like okay, it's like a funny sitcom, right? You're going back to college, whatever. Yeah. Who cares? You would be able to tell how the party was going to turn out as the party was going. So you'd just be like, how do you? You'd be like the party sensei, though.
The party sensei.
How do you think we need more girls?
So I'm Van Wilder without a fucking transcript.
I mean, but you partied so much and you experience so many parties that you can just enter a party and go like, I know.
It would be funny, to take an inventory real quick. Be like, all right, so we need more girls, more beer, maybe some liquor.
If I walked into a college party right now, I could probably tell you how many people are going to be there at 3:00 in the morning.
Oh yeah. That's an easy thing to do at any party, really.
Yeah. 0.
I hate 0. So I'm taking them all to table.
I will say, I always hated frat houses.
Yeah.
Because the bathrooms were just the goddamn worst, dude. And it's just like I'd rather
15 college age dudes are using it. None of them know how to clean.
I just don't understand why there's so many broken doors.
Kick them through
them. And I just couldn't even use the sink to brush my teeth. I'll tell you this one time in college, okay, I failed a class and I had to take the class in the summer. So I stay with a couple dudes, which nobody's there until Sunday night, and my parents are driving to the Upper Peninsula on Thursday, so they're like, we'll just drop you off because it's the only way I can get out there. So they drop me off on Thursday, and my parents walk in the house and they're like, this place is terrible. And I was just like, don't worry, I'm just gonna clean it. That's all I'm gonna do today. They're like, are you serious? And I was like, I'm not gonna live in this. So I spent like 6 hours cleaning this house. It was like vacuum, dishes, like Robin did, dude, like bleached the counter, dude, just cleaned it. And the one dude was like, hey man, it's totally this guy. And this other dude's like, it's totally this guy. And I was like, it's just everybody. But it was super satisfying cleaning that house. And then for the 3 weeks that I had to take that class, I spent 5 hours every day in the library. So I wasn't in that house very much.
Well, that's good.
It was a terrible time.
That's good.
Oh yeah. So the commissioner and the assistant to the regional commissioner, we just had our 5th annual selection show.
We did.
We decided to go with this game called Marbles on Steam. It just took some quick Googling to figure out how to set it up. And, we'll throw a little video here in the center how you can kind of see it. But basically, the Marble Order decided the lottery selection, because every year for the top 4 picks in the lottery selection, we try to do something different.
National Fantasy Football League for Scrunts.
Yeah, for Scrunts. And so this is our 5th season.
5th season with the same group. We've subtracted 1, added 1.
How do you feel the league is? Like, what's 2 major differences do you think from the league now to the league that we first started?
Well, the league we first started, we kind of struggled to get people.
Yes, we had only 7 military at the beginning.
Yeah, and we couldn't find an 8th, and so I adopted my buddy.
Yeah, you guys might sound like this might be douchey, but we just got off this deployment with a bunch of solid.
And we tried to string together as many people we could from the deployment. We got turned down like 3-4 times.
Yeah,
and so I was like, "Fuck it, we'll do an 8-man league, and I'll grab someone from home." And they'll be in it. And he was about it. He ended up winning the first year. He was super
off
about
of
it.
Like no knowledge.
Well, no, he has knowledge, but he's not like a savant. He doesn't spend a whole bunch. He's an avid NFL fan.
Yeah,
but he's not very good at fantasy football. Like he had done like 2-3 other leagues before.
Well, that's what I mean. Like he knows how to add, drop, and all. He knows how to do the ins and outs. But
as far as like player knowledge goes,
he's not like breaking down 6 different games.
No, he knows the players. Yeah, he knows they're good. He doesn't understand.
He'll know your George Kittles. He'll know your big name players, and he might know some other players besides that.
Yeah, he ended up going off that year. I think Kamara was the one that pushed him over
the
edge.
He's not Alex Peppering, where you've got 3 TVs going.
No, well, he would to watch the game. But he doesn't really. So his knowledge pre-draft is garbage. But then like after his team's all set up and he's got everybody, he's fine. He knows what he's talking about. He knows like the scoring systems and all that shit. But then like picking people up off the waiver, he would always ask me questions like, "Hey, should I pick this person up off waiver?" And I'd be like, "Dude, I'm in the league. Shut the fuck up. Stop showing me the people you're interested in."
Right.
Like that's critical information. You need to hold on to that.
Yeah.
But he ended up winning anyways, and then he got kicked from the league because he fucking was a doucher about some shit. And we backfilled him with someone else, and they're much better. So we added 2 more people. So it's 3 different people from the inaugural year.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's better. So now it's a 10-man league.
It's
3 players at the end of each year.
It's now all military, and that's only because we this is a way that like we connect with these dudes that we like.
It's a good way to stay in contact.
So and it kind of keeps it fresh too, because like we fuck with each other solid heavy during the regular season. We fuck with each other super heavy all the way to the Super Bowl. Yep. And then everybody takes a nice like 3-month, 4-month break from each other.
Break. Every once in a while you have like the one person, like something crazy happens.
Or like in the NFL.
Yeah. Like a wild trade. Like when Tyreek Hill was traded, someone's like, "Yo, Tyreek."
Like, Munger, you fucking keeping Tyreek?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Like when big shit like that happens. Yeah. But we got a good group. We've got 3 people on the reserve seats. So this year we're going to do it.
We've added the hot seat.
Yeah. So this year, 2 strike rules.
We have 2 managers in the hot seat right now, and they're both on 2 strike rules.
So we got 2 strike rules.
Everyone's on a 2 strike rule, but at the same time, like if someone who's been active, like if Pepper somehow just 3 weeks in a row couldn't set his lineup,
like I would know something
weird. Yeah, no, but if there's something weird, obviously we're going to let him continue to play in the league.
Yeah,
because he's never had any other
there's certain people in our league who do enjoy being in the league, but they also have had weeks where they could have expressed, "Hey, I need some help." Just like
it's mainly they pay attention the first couple weeks, and then if they go like 0-3 the first 3 weeks, they just stop paying attention.
Yeah,
they forget to set their lineups. They don't change their lineups. Like if they'll have like 3 players on bye, and the last 2 years that's actively affected the playoff picture.
So the 2 strike rule is a 2-year rule.
3 people make playoffs the last 2 years that shouldn't have made playoffs because people forgot to set their lineups.
Yeah. So for the 2 people that are on the 2 strike rule, so if they have a strike, then they have to Like they have to finish out that year and whatever.
If they get one strike, me and you are going to be actively on their ass every week about setting their fucking rosters. Every Wednesday, both of us are just going to blow them up.
Yeah.
Be like, hey man, you have to do this. You have to.
Or
if
just
you don't, then I'm going to go in and just put people in, not who I think should start, but who should. Know, just fill the blanks. I'm not going to pick anyone up. I'm not going to drop anybody.
And here's the thing. There's 2 people on the back burners where you could just
shuffle them in there,
and then you take over. No league fees first year. No league fees coming in. But our league fees are pretty cool. The ring got out the car. He enjoyed that.
Running into some difficulties with the trophy.
Yeah, it's still in the back burner.
It's all right. It'll get there.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
I've seen it.
Yeah,
it's real.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun league. I like all the people that are in it.
Bunch of chill guys.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for this season. It's a 3-man keeper, so every year you decide to keep 3 players, and you always have at least 4 people on your roster that you'd be willing to keep. So it's interesting to see like who keeps who, and then makes the draft interesting too, because normally the top 30 players are off the board, but if someone has like 4 of the top performers, they can only keep 3. That means there's a solid first round pick that's going to be available in the first round.
Yeah.
And it's a first overall pick, but it's because we're drafting in the 3rd round.
Mm-hmm.
Like our first round is basically the 3rd round. It's the top 30 guys. Oh yeah. 4th round. It's the top 30 guys are just off the board.
Yeah. And this happened to me. It's a keepers league.
Yep.
So sometimes you bet on rookies and rookies don't always pan out. And I currently have 2 rookies and both of them haven't really panned out, and I'm dropping one of them.
Well, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, that was a sophomore year, right? Last year? That was the second year in the league?
Yeah.
His first year, he went off. He was like a top 10 back.
Yeah, he did.
As a rookie,
he did very well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then my other one, Zeke, and I drafted him as a rookie. And so both my rookie running backs that I drafted have sucked. Yeah. Now, the one rookie running back I'm glad I didn't draft was Saquon Barkley. Because he fantasy numbers and I
mean his first like year and a half was great.
We'll see. This is a big year for that entire organization because
it's a big year for them.
The reset quarterback, reset
all that's on the table this year.
Mm-hmm. Daniel Jones,
Saquon. I think Danny Dimes is going to start. I think the coach leaves before Danny Dimes doesn't start.
Danny Dimes is on his last year of his prove-it contract.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. So I could see the coach getting fired halfway through the season before Danny Dimes gets cut or gets,
Well, they're not going to cut him.
Well, no, I just mean before he before he gets benched. Like
I don't think he'll get benched. I think he'll start the whole year.
I think so too. I think there's a higher chance of him starting the whole year.
I think he starts 14 games.
Yeah.
And then if he does not produce if he's not keepable in 14 games, those last 2, they'll just sub him.
I mean,
but maybe he's not a prove it, or maybe those are tight games, but it just depends,
It's going to be an interesting year.
If Danny Dimes wants to stay in the saddle, the Giants have to go 8-8 this year. Oh, they can't. They have to go 9-8 this year.
Yeah, there's no 500.
If Danny Dimes wants to stay in the saddle, they have to go 9-8.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all it is. Danny Dimes, you're on the
hot seat. Then, dude. Even then, I think it depends on their record in the division too. Because like if they lose to the Commanders twice, I think Danny's done.
The greatest quarterback in the world.
Put me on the record as saying Carson Wentz is absolute dog water.
He had a good 12 games.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. It was a solid 12 games. We looked it up.
Solid 12 games.
Not even amazing. Just
solid 12 out of
strung together 12 solid fucking games.
Super solid 12 games.
Was having one of the best years out of any quarterback that
year.
He was
on track to having
an MVP season.
An MVP. He was on track for it. Yeah. But hey,
those 12 he has not shown any signs of greatness since.
Yep. I mean, we can argue.
Sorry, not sorry. It's not going to be on my fantasy football team.
I ain't drafting him first.
I'd be willing to bet. That he's not rostered after the draft.
In our league?
Yeah. I'd be willing to bet that he's not rostered after the draft. Like final pick goes in, I mean, you can't draft him in the last round like a douche.
How much? Let's bet $7,000.
$7,000 bet.
And then
I'm gonna delete him. I'm the commissioner, bitch.
I would just.
I'm gonna lock him from your roster, so you can't fucking.
I would go to Munger and I'd say, Munger, you know, I want to make fucking. I want to make $1,000.
You want to make some motherfucking money, bitch?
You want to make $500? Use your last pick on Carson Wentz, and I'll give you $500.
I'm just gonna lock him.
Nobody can draft him.
Nobody,
unless you draft him in the first
round. Yeah, you have to take him with your first pick, otherwise he's gone.
He's gone off the board, dude. Fucking cheaters.
Oh man, are we doing this cut stumpers?
Cut stumpers, dude.
There it is. Roll the clip.
Draft. You know, you can explain this.
All right, so they're stealing this from a TikTok guy. I can't remember their name, but you know,
shout out to you guys.
Shout out to you guys. Appreciate it. They do it's guess the athlete is the game, and so we both were. I'm gonna pick an athlete, and Taylor has, you know, he has to guess who it is, but he can only ask yes or no questions, and then after he's done, he's gonna ask, or he's got an athlete for me, and I'm gonna start asking questions. And whoever guesses it in the least amount of questions wins. So it's a variation of what they do. They do it in under 30 seconds.
Do we want to do it a stock, like a certain amount of questions?
It doesn't have to be. I mean, let's just go till we get it, or someone gives up. If you give up, it adds 10 questions.
Where's yours written down at? In your head.
Yeah, well, I also have a webpage pulled up.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Let me double check and make sure it's pulled up, but.
I wrote mine down on paper.
Yeah, mine's pulled up.
Okay.
I'll write mine down on paper if that makes you happy.
Do you want a little piece of this guy?
Let's take a little piece of this
guy. I'm memorizing his pencil strokes. What else has been new, guys? It's just been hot as shit here lately, you know. We won't have a new Alabama moment of the month because Prather's from Arkansas, but yeah, he's just been busy, so we won't have an Arkansas moment of the week. Other than that, we've just been playing some video games. We watched Gray Man, which is pretty good on Netflix. You should definitely check it out. We also saw the Bob's Burgers movie. You know, I was surprised when I did stand up and I mentioned that I watched the Bob's Burgers movies, and I got a fucking cheer from the crowd that I heard.
Yeah, you got a big one.
And everyone's like, yeah, Bob's Burgers. And I was like, that's fucking crazy. Yeah, okay. So I will give you the first question.
All right, you're guessing first.
You're gonna guess the first. Oh yeah, over. Yeah. Okay, yep. I got it. Yeah.
All right.
Yep. Wait, so I'm guessing first.
Yeah, you're guessing. I'm getting the Google ready just in case there's a question I can't
answer. Smart. Does he play in the NFL?
No.
Does he play in the NHL?
No.
Does he play in the NBA?
Let me stop you. No, I can't do that. No.
Is he an Olympic athlete?
No.
Is she an Olympic athlete?
No.
Is it a male?
Yes.
Do they skateboard?
No.
Do they play soccer?
No. So you worded your first question, Fucky.
I don't even remember the first question.
You asked, do they play in the NFL?
Did they play in the NFL?
They did at one point.
Oh, I thought it had to be active.
No.
Oh.
Just like a marquee player, like someone you would know.
Okay. Yeah. So they did play in the NFL.
Yes.
Okay. Did they play in the AFC?
Yes.
Did they play in the AFC West?
Yes.
Did they play for the Cardinals?
No.
Did they play for the Chargers?
No.
Did they play for the Broncos?
No.
Did they play for Kansas City?
Yes.
Let's see. Did they break their leg?
I don't think so.
I'll save you a future. Did they play quarterback?
No.
Okay, then it doesn't matter for that last question. Did they play defense?
No.
Did they play receiver?
No.
Did they play center?
No.
Did they play running back?
Yes.
Oh, fuck, man, I'm never gonna get this then.
Really?
Yeah, it's gonna be somebody that barely played for them at the tail end of their career. Maybe from another predominant team from the NFC. But I'm never gonna get an AFC running back from the Chiefs because I can't think back that hard. So I'm not gonna get it.
Giving up?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, I barely remember him.
Really?
Yeah.
This is Jamal Charles.
Jamal Charles.
He was like a fucking powerhouse for like 5 years.
Barely remember him.
That's crazy.
Like I kind of remember Jamal Charles a little bit.
Dude, he was like my fantasy bread and butter for like 2 years. He was my dude. Him and Arian Foster were fucking.
I remember Arian Foster.
Jamal Charles is better than Arian Foster.
I mean, I'll probably remember if I saw his highlight tape, but
yeah,
you know, that sounds like a generic name.
It does sound like a generic name. He had a generic face too.
Looks like a Madden character.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. All right. So that was 21 questions on the give up. So you just have to.
I got to beat 21.
Yep.
All right.
Let me get a Google page open.
Okay.
For stats.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Do they play in the NFL?
No.
Do they play football?
No.
Baseball?
Yes.
MLB?
Yes.
Play for the Tigers?
No.
The A's?
No.
Yankees?
Yes.
Like currently on the Yankees roster?
No.
Is it Derek Jeter?
Yes.
Oh!
Yep.
There it is.
Wow.
Cut stumpers once again.
Yep. I don't know football players like that.
Oh, dude. I thought that was an easy one. As soon as you got running back in Kansas City.
Well, yeah. What else was there? Quarterback and not receiver and not center. Because I was like,
I mean, receiver, Dwayne Bowe, maybe.
Maybe the left tackle from Michigan, drafted number 1 overall from Central.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done that one. I wouldn't have been that deep. I was going off of like fucking historical, like
what years did he play?
He was drafted in like 2006, 2015, I think. Pretty sure.
Mind blowing.
That's crazy. Drafted 2008, and his last year with Kansas City was 2016. His last year in the league was 2018.
I think it's because as a Packers fan, our running backs have just came in and out so many times that
he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years with over 1,100 rushing yards.
I mean, like I said, like if I saw his highlight tapes and shit on film, I'd be like, oh yeah.
I mean, he was a beast while he was there. He tore his ACL. I couldn't remember if he broke his leg too. That's why I was like, I don't think so. Let me look at it. But yeah, he fucked up his ACL and that screwed him. He only played like 2 games last year with Kansas City. And then I think he went and played with the Broncos. And his last year, I don't even think he played a single snap for the Jaguars. But
Sick.
That's cut stumpers.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was a good podcast. That was 109. So 110 is the next Moss.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks for watching, guys. Comedies on the website jtofjville.com. Selfless plugs. If you guys want us to talk about any subjects,
Throw it in the comments.
Throw in the comment section. But the picks are coming back for season 3.
Yep, picks will be back. We'll start doing those videos here in a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
We'll probably do like one preamble video where we just talk about the fucking like what we're going to be doing in the league and everything, and then the next one will be season 3, episode 1.
Yep. Yeah. What we got to do is I have the magnet strips ordered, but we need to
get a metal board.
No, we need to print 5 of each of their names on the same font size, and then take glue and glue them on the back of those, so then you can just magnet them on the boards that are writing them every time.
Yeah.
So it's easier to. Or
isn't that one not magnet though? Didn't we find that out?
It's correct.
Yeah.
So, but I do have magnet boards, or we can use the protector, but we're gonna figure out a new format.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. We'll talk about that in the preamble episode or whatever.
For sure.
But yeah, we'll be doing that. Near future subjects, we'll break down the fucking first episode of the Game of Thrones shit coming out, because that's gonna be
a lot of good shit coming out. Rick and Morty's
and Morty's coming out. We're gonna be talking about a lot of TV shows,
a lot of pop culture, a lot of good references.
Yeah,
trendy, gotta stay trendy.
On the 21st of this month is when House of the Dragons comes out. That one, I'm very excited for that one. I really hope it's not shitty, but
it could be. I'm gonna give it the first season. I don't know. But we appreciate the support. We're on the road to 300 again, so let us know if we can be doing anything better, because we're always constantly evaluating our format. So, all right, you guys have a great one.